Hello everybody, I am Tom and you are watching me play Disco Elysium. So I noticed, in between episodes, I went here to look back to see whether my ledger was back, and it wasn't. However, if you go to tools, we now have the ledger of failure and hatred. so we now have a ledger is now a tool that we can carry around. This is the same ledger you found in the trash, only worse somehow. It makes you think about the letter, about the woman's handwriting, about not wanting to get out of bed in the morning. Which is a shame. Hello.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
The young man on the balcony gives you a bright smile before taking another drag from his cigarette.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like diamonds.
We got your hint. Found the key right under the stone.
Beautiful.
As he looks at you, something sparkles in his eyes.
So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
That's what I'm aiming for, yes.
Beautiful.
A nearby street lamp casts shadows on his chin, drawing out his slender cheekbones.
I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
I'm really digging the view. It's a nice view.
Mm-hmm. That's why I chose this place. Martinez is special, isn't it?
Wait. Suddenly you're digging things?
I'll talk to him, but first I want to talk to you. I have so many questions.
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette
Unfiltered,
and looks
Jesus.
around. It's getting dark and the neighboring windows have lit up one by one. Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad.
Run where?
To the city. It's a beautiful night.
Only if you promise that we'll talk again, it's important.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words.
We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, all right?
He says with another disarming smile before slipping off into the night.
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
Let's go, Kim. We have to interview his Sunday friend.
Right after you.
If there's no one in here, that will be hilarious. Interesting. A quarterly business magazine. I'm gonna steal his hat, because that's what I do. Dishes soaking in the pot. An empty ashtray. Flyers for underground parties. Days for open lectures at a local university. Interesting. An exquisite canopy bed made of metal. A party dragon silk robe. Interesting. An old photo of the same apartment dated year 01. Expensive men's perfume lingers in the air. Buckets of paint on a layer of old newspapers. Interesting. Hello.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
The man is in business casual move with cufflinks.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur la Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
Hanging? What a drag. He seems like a cultured gentleman. You should ask him about the finer things.
I don't care about most of these things. Hello, Mr. Vildronen. Let's get started.
Of course. Let me just say it has been an emotional week for me.
He forms a little rooftop with his fingers. Cold air comes in from the balcony.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
What's an official like you doing in Martinet?
The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled.
True.
The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
Okay, but what are you doing here in this apartment?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
Interesting. So you're some kind of bureaucrat?
Yes, as I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stability. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Intern.
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, it's impossible to understand whether someone from the Moral Intern is joking or not.
What is this international community? I know what this means, but I'm just going to ask all these questions.
La Communauté Internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution.
La Communauté Internationale is the colloquial term for the coalition. Seems kind of backwards. And what do I call the coalition?
Your employer, technically speaking. The governing authority of Revachol. The RCM is but one part of this provisional administration.
What is the price stability? Probably stable price, I would imagine.
It is the most important thing.
Ah, that clears everything up.
It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment,
Indeed.
which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Indeed.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%.
Fascinating, but I want to ask you something else. Also, 2% inflation
But
is
not too far below.
interesting.
No. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%.
You're not answering my questions at all.
The coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
Sure, give me a leaflet, just so he
A
shuts up.
sound monetary policy is essential for
damn it.
addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency.
I'm not gonna ask these two. Let's get back to
Whatever
business.
you wish, officer.
You actually witnessed the lynching?
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
He didn't see the hanging. He saw the little show staged by the Hardys. Let him talk. He may know more than even he knows.
Start from the beginning if you don't mind.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
Then it should be easy to describe.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher setting the scene.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
That lines up with previous testimony, doesn't it? Well done, detective.
Thank you, sir. I think I've got the picture. Anything else stand out?
Only that there were about 8 or 10. I couldn't make out anything. It was so dark. And it was quiet. Quietest lynching I've ever heard of, let alone heard. But I suspect you knew that already. I can't say I'm surprised. The fine reputation of the men and women serving in the RCM is well deserved.
Can you tell me about your friend? Presumably he's a prostitute.
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
Maybe not. Maybe I was being... Maybe I'm being mean by assuming he's a prostitute because he's skinny and looks good and is slightly camp. What are you doing in his apartment by yourself?
I'm just enjoying the view.
Isn't it rude for your friend to leave you alone like this?
We're old friends. Nothing's taboo between us. He comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's very active.
You still haven't told me who he is.
Sorry. Who?
Your friend, the smoker on the balcony, we just talked about him.
But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization.
So all you can tell me about him is he's here to study the arts.
He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
Which arts?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows?
Huh.
The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
How did you two even become friends?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Peninsula? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
What are you talking about? No one makes friends that way.
Au contraire. It's how millions of people end up where they are. Meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here, and my friend too.
What's Kedra?
Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue.
What do you mean?
That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since.
Doesn't tell me anything about Kedra itself. Is it warm there, cold, something in between? It is interesting he, defines everything based on the Empire, as it were.
It's warm. It's also known for its mandarin trees and dust storms from Supramundi. Kedra's an emerging market, but it still has a long way to go. Maybe that's why my friend's menage decided to emigrate. I'm all ears, officer. A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
Why aren't we able to talk later?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
Exactly. Thanks for the heads up, but my work here is done.
Of course. I'm glad I could help.
Fairweather T500. Remember that weakness you were looking for in the ceramic armor? Maybe it can only stop small, fast projectiles, but a large, slow-moving pry bar would shatter it? Or, if I run an electrical current through it, maybe it will melt. Or, personal favorite, frequency something something radio weapon? None of that would work. You need to shoot the part of the enemy that doesn't have Fairweather T500 on it, because the armor itself is invulnerable. Good news is, so are the armor pieces on you.
Good to know. White morning. You see yourself from above. You're passed out on blue tiles of the hostel room floor. Even from this distance, you can see your eyelids flutter. At the mention of what? A great white object, letting out its sweet smell like a lily of the valley. The little man's forgotten its name. but he still remembers the feeling, and look, he moves. The feeling animates him. He instinctively reaches out for his feeling's best friend, a bottle of Commodore Red. He puts on the disco clothes and gets smaller and smaller. Interesting. I don't know why understanding my warning would be a good thing, but maybe it is. Who knows? So that didn't really give us any information whatsoever. It probably would have if we didn't already know that this was a faked scene, right? Like, if we talked to him earlier, he would have been like, this was really weird, like, there was no sound being made whatsoever, and, like, it just didn't make any sense, you know what I mean? Alright, so it's now quite late. I am, however, tempted to fast travel over to that corpse and examine the corpse with Kitsuragi. That involves me getting over to... I mean, it depends how long that conversation took. What's the time now? It is 10, so we could go to sleep. But, if I can get away with pulling Kim to me to this other crime scene, well, not crime scene, but accident scene, then that would be good, because I want to do that as soon as possible, so that this body doesn't decompose. So we're here. I should be able to fast travel now to the church. And then we just need to find this man, which is up here, I believe, from memory. Out here. Hey Kim, I found a dead guy.
A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent.
Hold on. Looks like he's been dead for a while. I'm surprised no one found him before you came along.
Who is this man?
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here. But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
This is an omen, a sign from above. Don't start drinking again.
He looks like me. I could have ended up just like him, dead on some empty boardwalk with a bottle next to my corpse.
Well, at least you're not married.
Yeah, that's true. The lieutenant points to the ring on the man's left hand, the flesh around it swollen and grey.
Or, what if you are?
But let's try to not run ahead. For now, all we know is that he's an unidentified middle-aged man found dead on the Martinez boardwalk.
What do you think happened here?
Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive.
Think he was drunk?
Oh yes.
What about alcohol poisoning and liver failure?
Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure.
What about the kebab?
What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the box.
Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab.
Someone should be held responsible for this broken boardwalk. It's dangerous.
They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean. It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still a question of identifying the body.
What should we do with him?
From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle.
We found him. We should finish this.
Alright, we've already examined the library card. Let's call the Jamrock Library from my kinema, see if we can learn anything about this Billy Méjean. And while we're there, we should also call the station, let them know that we are taking the case.
Cool. Interesting. Strong weather. Something's going on here. Why can't I walk behind that pole? Whatever. Alright, so it's now 10:30 at night. I don't think there was anything I had to do pressing today. I guess I'm going to go to the kinema and see if I can do a couple of calls. I'm sure someone will be on call. Let's travel to matinee. There's a couple of calls I need to make here. 3
Inside,
total,
you
I
see
think.
a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Did you find out any more about the owner of the armored boots?
Not yet. But I was able to convince the database people to share private sector information. They promised to get back to me by tomorrow morning. Do you have any other questions?
Nice. I need to report a dead body on the matinee boardwalk.
One moment.
You're shuffling through some papers.
Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
An unidentified middle-aged man, height 170 to 175 centimeters, dark hair, medium build. Looks like he slipped, fell through a hole in the boardwalk, and hit his head against a metal bench.
We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him, and traces of vomit on his shirt.
Any signs of violence?
No, he seems like it was an accident.
No field autopsy necessary.
You can hear her quickly typing in the background.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes?
He was wearing boots, trousers, and an old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. I found a library card from his pockets.
Any information on the library card?
It was from Central Dramort Public Library. It belongs to someone named Billy Majan.
Good. You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else?
We're taking it.
I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Sure, connect me to Jamrock Public Library, please.
I'm afraid they're closed. It
Damn.
says here that the library is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Should have figured that.
We should try again during business hours.
Anything else, Detective?
Do I need to call the 41st for any reason? I don't think so.
57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering.
Cool. Let's go up here. I want to see if Kim wants to talk about anything, because the body is now taken care of. So... I don't think Guard has anything particularly interesting. He may just go directly to bed, but he may also want to talk, potentially. See you in the morning. Cool.
Yes?
Bye. I guess we have nothing to talk about. I guess I can try and get this smile off my face.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your clean-shaven face, adorned with the expression. You're still not accustomed to it.
Interesting. Can I fix the mirror? What do I have? I mean, nothing particularly good for fixing a mirror. Right? Chain cutters don't help. Don't really have anything that helps me fix a mirror.
A mirror hangs on the
Or
bathroom
fix a faucet.
wall. In it, your clean-shaven face.
How would
adorned
the
with
chain cutters
the
fix the
expression.
faucet?
You're still not accustomed to it.
I mean, let's give it a go, shall we?
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall.
Let's give it a shot.
In it, the faucet is quite terribly mangled, but you just might be able to twist its parts into place. You handle the chain cutters deftly, applying just enough pressure. The faucet regains a recognizable shape. The steam stops. Told you that you needed those chain cutters. Everything is connected. Everything has a purpose.
Thank you.
The mirror begins to clear slowly without you having to wipe it.
Dig deep in your mind to locate the source of the expression.
It belongs in the new, the third decade of the current century. Enough time had passed from the failure of the revolution that, for a fleeting moment, free market economy seemed like the ultimate, uncontested way of life for our species.
Okay.
Things were good. It was smooth sailing. People made gold and champagne-tinted interiors and facades to suit the times, calling this the new style. But more importantly,
Disco happened.
disco happened. Forget about ostentatious orchestrations. For Revachol, your city, that meant only one thing. Guillaume le Million. If it doesn't rhyme, you're not pronouncing it right.
Guillaume le Million.
Out of the dazzling swirl of disco music, in an open-air boîte de nuit, somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. He sang some bullshit. Then he made the expression.
So I adopted it. Why?
Everyone loved it. Maybe you thought some of the stardust would rub off on you. Maybe it did. Either way, it's all gone now. Only the grimace remains.
I feel the need to add a clicking sound when I make it. Click, click.
The click is used to spur on a horse. It also features heavily
I see.
in Guillaume le Million's regional mega hit, Don't Worry, Your Pretty Little Head. Sometimes you like to add finger pistols to the mix, because, unlike Guillaume le Million,
I'm doing finger pistols.
you are a police officer. It's your nifty little way to say, I'm armed and dangerous.
How long ago was the new...
There is a vast ocean of time between right now and the expression. Looking good on you, or anyone. 2 decades, if the calendar is to be trusted. Humanity has run aground in that time. It's a different world now. The expression is a relic.
Anything else, like who I am? Why do I become a cop? Why did I drink myself into oblivion?
You have some understanding of the near history of disco, plus the trivia you've picked up along the way. Episodic memory, however, remains in the dark. It may never return. You should prepare yourself for that.
Does that have anything to do with the ostentatious orchestrations?
Not really. OO must have just stirred your mind. They're more like a disco rock band anyway.
I guess that's it then.
It doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne-corked smile whenever you want to. Maybe some of the stardust will return.
We can try this. It's not a very good chance, but 17%, let's go.
It's like something snaps in you.
Nice.
A nerve ending.
Natural 20, baby.
A thought. A sadness. Your face in the mirror is suddenly clean of the layer that had distorted it for God knows how long. Just like that, it's over. The running gag that your life had become. A sad old man looks back at you.
Huh. Not sure if that's better or not. I look a bit more serious.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's barely covered in steam anymore. You see your face, such as it is. A regular, clean-shaven police officer.
Huh. It might be better. Alright. So, we have a few things to do here. Apparently we need to talk to Renee. There's a composure test. So these are all of the checks we can retry, I think? Suggestion to ask her out on a date. There was a barred door. Can't do that. Where was that? Oh, that's in the back of the thing. Barbell to lift up. I don't care about that. Water door somewhere in that building. Cafeteria window. Perception. Interesting. I could try that. Measure head. Physical instrument. Try and push him off the wall. Unnecessary. I can get past him anyway. A map wall. Interesting. It's actually really useful. And I only recently realized it was here, but I can actually look up all of the checks that I've failed and that I can retry. Which is kind of awesome, to be perfectly honest. And I think, like for instance, ceiling fan.
This fan has 2 chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades. Or has it been consigned there as punishment? You feel as though this creature is your friend and wants to reattach itself to your neck so that you may continue your adventures together in this strange world.
See if we can grab the tie. It's a 92% chance.
You swoop
Nice.
up and catch the tie. Snap. It's released from the blade. Warning, warning, the necktie is no longer contained. What you have in your hand is a fantastically colorful tie with 4 or 5 different patterns. The knot reminds you of a noose. If it's your friend, why was it up there? Who ties their friend to a ceiling fan? Maybe this thing is dangerous somehow.
I do like the fact that logic isn't always correct. Like, that is the logical conclusion. But the reason the necktie was up there was illogical in the first place. So it's trying to apply logic to something that was inherently illogical, so it comes up with the wrong conclusion.
An ominous, foreboding feeling fills you as you look at the tie.
Interesting. So we now have an extra tie. Maybe? Or not? Oh, I put it on immediately. Gives you +1 inland empire. This is straight up better. Good to know. Can read it. The necktie is adorned with a garish pattern. It's disturbingly vivid. Somehow you feel as if it would be wrong to ever take it off. It's your friend now. It will betray you if you change it for some boring scarf. Good to know. I could sleep, but I'm going to do it next episode. So, that's going to be the end of this episode. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And as always, thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time. That was actually quite a long episode. It went for like half an hour. Anyway, I'll see you next time, guys.